Alright, now we're going to take this skull and build some UVs for it. So File. Oh, and by the way, you have to go to Select Objects, select that object. I'll go like this, Export Selection, Export Skull. Now, normally, or sometimes I would show how to do this in Maya, especially at a college that teaches Maya. I've been teaching Maya for a great deal of time, and I would say the UVs in Maya are terrible. And I always like to introduce students to Blender as early as possible to get them to understand the difference between doing things in Blender and doing things in Maya. UVW unwrapping is amazing. So without further ado, we're going to actually do this in Blender and not do it in Maya at all. Okay, here's Blender. And I'm going to treat this like it's a brand new install, because I have students that just are probably installing it for the very first time. Here's how you kind of navigate, and we don't have to navigate too much, you just have to learn the basics. Middle mouse button, click and drag to rotate. Okay. Wheel mouse back and forth to zoom in and out. And holding shift and middle mouse button allows you to pan. That's all you really need to know. The other thing is highlighting things. So in this case, my left mouse button makes this annoying little cursor follow you. Okay? I like highlighting things with my left mouse button. I don't know about you, but I do. So, user preferences. Let's change one thing in here. I'm going to go to left click on this. So, go like that. And now the cursor doesn't follow. It only follows if I hit the right mouse button. Alright, X on the keyboard to delete this. Again, just get yourself oriented to how to move around. And then import in OBJ. I myself will have some problems navigating, because in the past I've always used the Maya preset for things. I find that since Blender is changing constantly, that they forego the Maya preset half the time and screw it up. So I'm learning it via Blender now. So 5 on the number pad allows you to get out of perspective view. Tab allows you to go into the component mode. And I need edges. So what I need to do is dictate a line that goes all the way around the character. In this case, I have this one right here. You can see it. And it stops at this extraordinary vertice right here. I kind of look for these extraordinary vertices. They're very important. I like the fact that they can control an edge loop without making it run into the character. In this case, I'm using Shift and Alt, and I'll click on that. And you'll see it goes all the way around. How lucky was that, right? So I'm going to go over here to Mark Seam. Okay. Now right click here and go Split Area. Click. Then I'll go into UV Image Editor. Over here, I'll hit L on the keyboard, then U, then click Unwrap. Okay, something went wrong there, because there's no way that is unwrapped. U. Oh, I don't think I marked the seam. That's what it was. I was like, that's not good. So let's go back here. Use Shift and Alt. And then go over here to Mark Seam. There we go. So it turned bright orange. L, U, Unwrap. There we go. Perfect. Now what I want to do is orient these to be sideways instead of like this. So I'll do this. G on the keyboard allows you to grab, and then anytime you left click, it'll let go. R allows you to rotate, and anytime you left click, it allows you to stop rotating. And S allows you to scale, and anytime you let go or left click, it will stop. What I want to do is center it just like this. Also, I want to see if it's got good uniformed structure as far as the texture is concerned. To check that, I go to Image, New Image, and I'm going to use something like the 2048 size. I find with organic geometry to have this large gives me a little bit more viewable range on things. So blank UV grid. Okay, so hit OK. You'll get this. And what I want to do is see that in 3D. So over here I'll hit N on the keyboard. Go down to Display. And use Texture Solid. In this case, it looks really good. It's almost too good. I wanted it to be a little bit bad because that way I got to see, or got to show you what things you can do to improve it. But we'll have that opportunity with the other bones probably. I'll try to find one that is a little bit flawed. So we're looking at these squares being all the same size, going all the way around, within reason. So if it starts getting like this, that's okay. But if it starts getting really, really, really small or really, really, really big, that's where we have to worry. In this case, some of the detail in the eyes, that's fine because these are sucked back anyway, are missing. But yeah, that looks really good. Alright, now just click anywhere and hit Tab to get back to object mode. And what we're going to do is File, Export, Wavefront Object. Make sure you have Selection Only on, and make sure that you have Keep Vertex Order on. That's very important. That's the most important part of this. And I'll export that back to my directory. Alright, let's go back to Mudbox. Okay, with the object highlighted, we'll just go File, Import UVs, and we'll import the OBJ. And this is where it's important because it relies on the vertex ID to match up the programs. Alright, now we have UVs. You can look at that. Bam, there they are. If we go to 3D view, I can hit Page Up now, and I should have all my detail. I'm going to get rid of the yellow. I should have all my detail, plus I have good UVs, and that means I can start generating some maps. So, in the next video, we'll start generating some maps.